When I posted on TikTok, that went from maybe a few hundred of people knowing about my product to millions. If it was not for TikTok, I can truthfully say that CPR Wrap would not be open today.
Look, in the face of everything that's happening, it takes guts for ordinary people to stand up against it. But here's the thing. So many people are. Like Sarah Anama. For the past 4 years, she's taught world civilization to sixth graders at Lewis and Clark Middle School in Meridian, Idaho. And like all teachers, she decorates her classroom with motivational posters. Posters like this one that says, "In this room, everyone is welcome, important, accepted, respected, encouraged, valued, and equal." An even more straightforward one showing children's raised hands with the tagline, "Everyone is welcome here." You have probably seen this kind of stuff a million times in kids' classrooms. I know I have as a dad. The kind of inspirational messages that are simply meant to tell students, whoever you are in the right place, you belong here. Shouldn't be controversial, right?
So for 4 years, these signs have survived sans harassment. Nobody said a word about them. That is, until about a month ago.
My building administration came to me during my lunch period and told me that they needed to be taken down by the end of the day. They told me that they were in violation of district policy because in today's political environment, they're considered a personal opinion.
Did they say somebody complained about them?
No. I asked if anyone had complained about them, and they said no. We just want to protect you from that if that were to happen.
In this political environment, that is not acceptable.
Yeah, I was told a couple things. That everyone is welcome here is not something that everybody believes. So that's what makes it a personal opinion.
You were told this, that not everybody believes everyone is welcome.
Right.
Not everyone believes everyone is welcome. Believe it or not, that is the new policy of the West Ada School District. It is a policy they updated after Idaho lawmakers passed a state law stating that critical race theory divides people and is contrary to the unity of the nation and the well-being of the state. The team trying to cancel this classroom poster is in a kid's classroom is led by the school district's chief academic officer, Marcus Myers. And yes, he says the problem here is the colors of the hands.
If there was a poster that just said everyone is welcome here, black background, white words, do you think the team would have objected to that?
I don't think the team would have. Now, that would have been a team decision, but I don't think the team would have. And I say that because those exist in our schools.
I was going to say, you have things that are almost identical to this. They just don't have multicoloring, and then they don't have the hands that obviously are different shades of skin tone, right? Ranging from white all the way to black.
Yeah. So the text by itself doesn't allow for interpretation.
Okay, so that's school district chief academic officer Marcus Myers. Everyone is welcome here as long as you're not talking about, everyone. As dumb as this is, and boy, it's dumb, this is what is happening across the country. Civil rights initiatives, anti-discrimination initiatives, diversity initiatives, inclusion, all being gutted. So, if you were in that teacher's position, what would you do?
because I was told to take it down by the end of the day, I did so. And the following few days, I just was so unsettled by it. And so I went back into my classroom and put it back up. And I emailed my principal and said, I don't agree. I don't agree that this is a personal opinion. I feel like this is the basis of public education.
Sarah Anama says the school district offered to buy her other, less controversial posters. She says Myers, the district boss, told her the political environment ebbs and flows, and what might be controversial now might not have been controversial 3, 6, 9 months ago, and we have to follow that. They have now given her until the end of the school year to take down the posters or face possible punishment for insubordination. That, she says, just solidified her resolve.
I just feel like, as a teacher, and I feel like probably a lot of teachers share this sentiment, I would do anything to protect my students. I love all of them unconditionally. We protect them from danger. Quite literally would take a bullet for these students. And this is the one small thing that I feel like I can do to speak out against this and stand up for them, to protect them from being affected by racist sentiments affecting their classroom. I find it hard to grapple with the fact that the reason why this poster needs to come down is because there are people outside of our school that disagree with it.
Now, Sarah Anama was not alone. Her students have staged walkouts on her behalf and are supporting her decision to keep the posters up. By sharing bracelets and T-shirts with that message, everyone is welcome here. It is amazing to watch this history teacher at a grade school in Idaho stand up to the creeping fascism of her state and her school district, while so many of the elected leaders in our country, Democrats and Republicans, seem entirely complacent in the face of it. But everywhere you look, ordinary citizens are out there on their own in demonstrations and council meetings expressing their fear and their anger and their hope for this country and wondering where their leaders are. Just look at what's happening at Republican town halls.
Which is the #1 worst breakfast for your arteries? Steak and eggs, bacon, hash browns, or a heart-healthy bowl of cereal? Throw America's favorite heart-healthy breakfast in the trash. See this claim? It's one of the biggest deceptions in the food industry. Heart-healthy just means it's low in fat. Candy companies could slap that label on gummy bears if they wanted to. First ingredient, oats. But oats are healthy. That's what big food spent millions convincing us. Here's what they don't want you to know. Oats are seeds. Seeds contain defense chemicals to stop insects from eating them, but this makes them toxic to humans too. For example, oats accumulate cadmium, a heavy metal used to make rechargeable batteries. When it gets in your body, it can increase the risk of heart failure, coronary heart disease, and stroke. Think about that for a second. While you're trying to protect your heart, the big food industry is getting rich by selling you ingredients linked to heart issues. No wonder heart disease remains America's #1 killer. If you or someone you love is worried about heart health, keep watching. What I'm about to share is completely backwards from what we've been told. Recent research from leading universities has just shown that clogged arteries and the heart attacks and strokes that follow have nothing to do with too much salt, red meat, eggs, or butter. The real culprit is something far more dangerous, a sticky protein in your blood called clotting factor 7 that can cause arteries to become 70%, 90%, or even 100% blocked. Normally, clotting factor 7 is part of a healthy response that repairs small wounds in your arteries. But if too much of it builds up, it can become a silent killer. If you've been experiencing symptoms like cold feet lately, tightness, or discomfort in your chest, these are all warning signs of a much deeper circulation problem that comes from clotting factor 7 and could lead to serious clots or cardiac events, especially if you have high cholesterol, high triglycerides, or high blood pressure. Results from the Northwick Part Heart study reports that high levels of clotting factor 7 in the blood can increase the risk of heart attacks by 84%. Listen, this research shocked even me, so I reached out to Dr. Sam Walters. For the past 50 years, he's been at the forefront of heart health research, first as NASA's nutrition consultant, then as one of the world's leading heart health experts, helping over 68,000 men and women overcome chronic heart issues. Turns out, Dr. Sam not only heard about this, he just released a special presentation that goes into detail about clotting factor 7 and how you can flush it out of your arteries without a single prescription drug. It's so safe and effective, It can all be done in the comfort of your own home. You can watch this important presentation for free today by clicking the button below. He also shares what the #1 best food for cleaning your arteries is. It contains what he believes to be the most important nutrient for protecting against heart attacks and strokes. It powers your body's natural artery cleaning systems and acts like Drano for your arteries. What's shocking is that 90% of Americans are missing it in their diet. And no, it's not fish, fish oil, or even krill oil. In fact, you'll see why taking fish oils for your heart is as good as throwing your money down the toilet. This missing nutrient is 8 times more effective than traditional omega-3s. And Dr. Sam will show you a simple way you can use it to stabilize your cholesterol, triglyceride, and blood pressure levels, and flush your arteries clean in just 7 seconds a day. So for anyone looking to take control of their health naturally, especially if you've been experiencing warning signs like cold feet, discomfort in your chest, or feeling winded easily, go ahead and click the link below to watch this important presentation absolutely free right now.
Elon Musk gets $40 billion a year in funding from the federal government. What makes you think that that has no conflict of interest, that he has no conflict of interest? Do you think he would cut that before he would cut our Medicare or our Social Security or our jobs?
I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency.
I believe that the president is very supportive of Ukraine. Like him or not, Elon Musk has brought a lot of really smart people to Doge.
So, it's not good, it's not healthy for the Republic to have court orders that are not being obeyed. It's also... It's also not healthy for the Republic when you have district judges that probably don't have the authority issuing national-wide injunctions. So let's get...
How can you be against a balanced budget? All right. All right. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So your proposal to solve this is to tax the rich.
All of that is just the latest in weeks' worth of everyday Americans speaking truth, demanding more from their politicians in this moment. And not just from politicians at every level. They're wondering, as I am, why university presidents and heads of NGOs and titans of industry and so many people who have status and a platform and so much they owe this country aren't doing more and saying more about the danger that is enveloping us. I think we need people across every sector of society to show the courage, not just of these protesters, but the bravery of Sarah and Nama, an Idaho school teacher who's risking so much to stand for what's right.
Liberty. Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
Liberty. It's pronounced Biberty.
Liberty.
Biberty.
Liberty.
Nice try, kid. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty.
Break free with the new Opera GX, the browser that puts you in control, with a brand new design that frees up even more pixels for personalization and an inventory of features to up your game at every level. Like GX Control to help rein in your resources with integrated limiters for RAM, CPU, and network. A sidebar for direct access to your favorite side quests, streams, and posts. And built-in privacy tools like ad and tracker blockers and free no-log VPN. Check into GX Corner for the latest news, deals, and free games. But what really makes our hit different is mods, giving you the power to change everything from animated wallpapers to themes, sounds, music, and shaders, so you can change everything. Get Opera GX.
There is, this moment, I think it's fair to say, a broad frustration with what we just saw from a handful of Senate Democrats led by the leader, Chuck Schumer. Everyone from Senator Bernie Sanders to former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger and lots of people in between opposed the effort to allow Trump's continued assault on the federal government. Folks wanted to draw a line in the sand and say we cannot operate under the normal set of political rules here. And as painful as shutting down the government might be, the Democrats, as the opposition, needed to use any leverage available to them. Leader Schumer and 9 other Democratic senators saw it differently. They all voted to move to a vote on the shutdown vote to continue to fund the government. It's dispiriting. It's even infuriating to a lot of folks. But we've been saying on this program, the bulwark against tyranny in this country is not politicians. It's us. All of us in every walk of life who hold fast to the American promise of government of, by, and for the people. Not the debased whims of a wannabe dictator and billionaire weirdos. No kings. Not ever. If there was any good news on this otherwise bleak day, it's every single hour of every single day, folks are waking up, and there is a dawning awareness that it's time to fight back. Donald Trump's project is as clear as day. He wants to dismantle the system of self-governance and checks and balances and to create a presidential dictatorship that does not depend on the will of the people. His model is Turkey, Russia, Hungary, places where the strong man rules no matter what, and you don't get a say, whether there are elections or not. That is his goal. It's clear as day. He basically enunciates it daily. And everyone else needs to be asking, how do you stop that from happening? How can you use whatever nonviolent tools are at your disposal to stop this unlawful power grab? How can we, as Americans, as supporters of democracy and the Constitution, build a united front across ideological lines in defense of marginalized people, the ones he's coming for first, in an almost literal reenactment of the famous Niemöller poem, in defense of working and middle-class people against the pillaging of oligarchs, heck, in defense of elites and powerful people who are using their platforms and power to preserve the American way of life. Right now, it doesn't seem like Democratic leadership understands that yet. But in many ways, and I know this sounds weird to say it right now, they are simply not what's important here. Stay focused on what's important. People are what's important. We're what's important. Public opinion is what's important. Civil society is what's important. And it's getting activated and organized every single day. Every day, the movement is growing. I mean, Republican representatives are being told to stop holding town halls because their own voters will not stop showing up to yell at them about what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing.
I was proud to vote recently for the House budget resolution, which provides the framework to we should abolish the U.S. Department of Education. The decisions need to be made back on the state level.
I believe that the president is very supportive of Ukraine.
Like him or not, Elon Musk has brought a lot of really smart people to Doge. And you wonder why folks don't want to do these town halls.
The protests against Musk don't end there. There's something really remarkable happening right now. I'm not sure people have really quite gotten their arms around this. We are seeing this organic bottom-up movement against Musk's signature company, Tesla. Some activists just put up a website with a simple message, right? Sell your Teslas, dump your stock. And then an entire Tesla takedown movement has sprung up in response. They've got a map where all the protests are planned all across the country. It's been happening for about a month. This weekend alone, there are more than 100 protests planned at dealerships, Tesla dealerships across the country, from Brooklyn to Toledo, Dallas to Grand Rapids, Raleigh, dozens more. There are even, as you might see there, a handful planned in Canada and the UK. And I'm going to tell you something. I wager next weekend there will be even more, and the weekend after that more, because this is growing every single day. And it's not Democratic leadership in Congress organizing the protests. It's just everyday folks who are fed up and want to make their voices heard. And it's having an insanely outsized effect. I mean, Tesla's sales are just cratering. The stock price has seen all of its post-election gains vanish. Musk's personal wealth has declined by more than $125 billion since the beginning of the year. That's because of this. And that's why Donald Trump had to turn the White House into a car lot this week and cut an ad for his co-president's fleet of vehicles, while the Attorney General of the United States effectively tried to threaten folks with jail time if they voiced their dissatisfaction with Musk's company.
If you're going to touch a Tesla, go to a dealership, do anything, you better watch out because we're coming after you. Wow. And if you're funding this, we're coming after you. We're going to find out who you are.
If you go to a dealership? No. We've all got a First Amendment right to stand on a sidewalk with signs outside a dealership. Doesn't matter what Pine Bondi says. By all accounts, this is not being funded by some big funder. It's a grassroots movement. Some people are organizing their